This meeting is being recorded.
Hi everyone, welcome to the channel and my name is Manish Tiwari. So in today's video we are going to talk about the deployment strategy which is mostly used during your Kubernetes deployment, correct? Whenever you are doing your application upgrade or you are doing any kind of upgrade activities. So what kind of deployment strategy you prefer and what is the meaning of the different deployment strategy? So basically, there are four kind of deployment strategy what we follow. If I have to name those, so it's the rolling update, then there is a canary deployment, then there is a blue green, and then there is a recreate deployment. So if I talk in detail about all these four strategy and which one is the default one which is mostly used and in which scenario which deployment strategy will suitable will be more suitable, correct? So the first one is rolling update, that is default one as well. And when we talk about the rolling update strategy, that is your deployment strategy in the Kubernetes. So it ensures that each and every pod will not go down at all. It will go down one by one. That means if I have a five number of pods for a particular deployment and I'm upgrading my application from 10.0 version to 11.0, just suppose the major version upgrade 10.0 to 11.0. So during the upgrade, what will happen? All these five pods are not going down. My fifth pod will go down and one new pod will be created. And within this scenario, if my older pod, my older pod will get terminated, when the newer pod will be able to accept the traffic, till the moment the older pod will not be terminated. So the fifth pod will go down, new pod will come up. Once again, there will be five number pods. After that, your fourth number of pod will go down, which is the older one, and then the newer pod will come up. So it goes one by one, gradually, like it's the gradual upgrade of the application, correct? One by one, your pod goes down. Then further, we talk about your blue-green deployment. That is your second kind of deployment strategy. So during this blue-green deployment, what happens that you have two identical state you can think of where your application is working very fine. It's accepting the traffic, it's serving the traffic in blue environment. And now you have to upgrade this from 10.0 to 11.0. So how will you upgrade? You will create one identical environment that will be called as green environment. You will upgrade your application and your application will be upgraded in this green environment. Once your green environment is stable, it's ready to accept the traffic, whatever the traffic is coming. If you are like, if I've already tested everything, everything is working fine, it's able to serve the traffic, there is no business impact, there is no user impact, nothing is there, then we used to switch this particular like the green environment traffic towards the blue environment. So at the same time, you are keeping two identical environments. Obviously, there is will be cost associated with that when you are doing this blue-green deployment, because you have to maintain the two states. That means to double infrastructure as well to do the deployment. So most of the time we do not use this blue-green deployment, but this is used when your system is very much critical. Like just suppose that you cannot tolerate any kind of downtime. Even a second of downtime or a minute of downtime, you cannot tolerate. So in that particular scenario, we can use this blue-green deployment. And where will it fit in? It can fit in like if you are doing any kind of scientific work and that kind of application is being deployed. Or there is a kind of application which is fetching real-time data and it cannot tolerate any kind of downtime. So in that particular scenario, we can use this blue-green deployment. Now let's talk about third type of deployment strategy, that is recreate. What happens during the recreate deployment? So as the name itself suggests that it's the recreation of your deployment, correct? So what will happen? All of the pods which are running for your application, all will be shut down and your application will be kind of shut down. It's not serving any traffic more, correct? So you will upgrade your application from 10.0 to 11.0 and then once again your pod will come up, like you will just restart your pods and it will come with the newer version of the application. So that's the kind of recreate deployment. Here you will experience there is a temporary downtime during the deployment. Correct. Then we talk about the fourth deployment strategy, and that is your canary deployment. So what happens during the canary deployment? It's a kind of subset deployment, correct? You are not going to upgrade your complete application at once. You will break the application upgrade into chunks and then you will be upgrading that. So just for your reference, what can be a best example for that? Just like you are using any application. So before your application is upgraded for real user, it is like deployed in the beta version. So most of the time you have to go for the application, you see there's a beta version of the same application and you use it, you pass the feedback, and based on your feedback, application is enhanced more. And if it's stable, it's working fine for end user, whoever is the owner of that particular application, correct, whoever has developed that particular application, they first go with the beta testing. Once beta testing is done, like out of their lakhs of user, 1,000 number of users or 10,000 number of user has used their beta version of the application and they have said that it's working very fine, correct. After that, they used to release the actual application with the enhance the property of the application, correct. Or if it's the new one, they after certain time they used to release the actual application. So that's how your canary deployment works. The upgrade happens for particular subset, and once subset is stable, everything is working fine, the deployment is working fine, pods are running smooth, it's able to serve the traffic, there is no issue. Once it has been tested, then we go forward with the different subset of the same application. So that's how your for deployment strategy works, and this is how we do the deployment during our any application upgrade or any kind of system upgrade, whatever we do. Apart from these four deployment strategies, there are others as well, what we do not use mostly, but there are other strategies also which are available. And that is like your shadow deployment, then there's a A/B testing. So that kind of deployment strategy is also there. But yes, most of the time we talk about this rolling update, which is the default one. Then we talk about recreate deployment. Generally, we do not use this recreate deployment. The third and fourth, the blue-green deployment and the rolling deployment is used mostly, and sometimes canary deployment as well. So canary deployment, as I mentioned, that it's a kind of subset testing. So you do the subset testing first, and then you go for the further deployment, like this another subset deployment, correct? So this is all about the deployment strategy. And we used to talk about such scenario-based question and the different kind of questions during our batches. If you are interested, you can join our batches. There we used to teach you these kind of questions and detailed questions answer as well.